fatal heart impacts, past painful scars. In fact, I blast tasteful bars and pass. I back up my actions, fact don't ask, grab reactions, jacked attack with every word, then act with class as they hear me snap. I got nothing to lose, cause I fought and felt the bruise. Now I'm not the one confused, call the shots and they produce. I ain't lost, I'm finally loose. Pick a new silver excuse, I need the views to boost me to a new abuse of being used. Everybody wants a piece now, y'all can rest in peace now. You're dead to me, so peace out. Remember, you're discreet now. Get ready for defeat now.
Alrighty. Hello everybody. This is Kiru's show here. And now, whenever we last left off, we did have Izuki, who fell asleep in her car, with a gun tucked into her hoodie. Now, she is currently sleeping in the back seat, and her body is beginning to heal the damage caused to her arm. Now, she actually does wake up, let's say 5 hours later, her waking up a bit hungry, before actually looking at the area that was damaged. Now, she actually does get up and pull off the hoodie. As soon as she does, she inspects her arm, pulling up her sleeve and unwrapping some of the bandages. The bleeding has stopped, and it does seem like her healing factor kicked in. Her thanking God for that super soldier serum. That stuff was strange, and probably won't be healthy. Now, she does still find it quite interesting, however. That serum did many strange things to everyone's body. In fact, she does believe it may have enhanced some people's quirks. That would be worth looking into. If it does enhance my own quirk, however, is there a way to reverse it, though? That would be interesting. Now, Izuki is at least beginning to think about this, as she does actually pull down the back seat of, well, let's say she pulls down the seat directly behind the passenger seat and reaches into the trunk, trying to feel around for a bag of clothes. As soon as she does actually find it, she pulls it out and begins to get changed. Now, she changes into what looks to be regular pants, a black hoodie, or a black shirt, and a black jacket, or a black leather jacket. Now, along with that, she actually does try to comb her hair, saving the strands of it that do actually come out with her brush. Now, after this does happen, she does actually look inside her bag for her money, and get into the driver's seat, turning on the car as she does leave the area. Now, with that, Izuki does head to a nearby cafe, walking in. Now, the very moment she does do that, she walks over to the table that is in the corner, and does decide on what to order. Now, the cafe, they do find that this, unfamiliar face, she does look a bit young to be here, all by herself. Izuki assuring them that actually she's quite a bit older than they expect. Her making up an excuse in a very believable voice that she actually does have a strange quirk. It does make her look a little bit younger than she actually is. Now, they do joke around, and the lady does ask Izuki for her ID. Izuki waving her hand and somewhat chuckling a little bit, saying that she doesn't want to give away her personal information, if that is all fine with her. The person apologizing and taking Izuki's order. her getting a cappuccino along with some breakfast, scrambled eggs, some bacon, and I'm trying to think about something. Let's say some well, not hmm. I was gonna say hash browns. There, that's better. I was gonna say mashed potatoes, but hash browns are not mashed. Anyways, now with that, she actually does wait, sipping on her cappuccino as the food is being prepared. Her actually using her eyes and looking around the room. There is a couple sitting at the bar and talking. Both of them do seem to be quite flirty. Then there does seem to be a group of people over there in the far corner of the store. Then there does seem to be a strange person. That person is all alone, just like her. And they did actually walk in a few minutes after she did. However, her conversation with the woman kept her preoccupied. She didn't see his face. So, it's quite strange. Plus, he is actually facing away from her. And doesn't seem to be taking off that hood. Izuki coming to a few conclusions. Either that guy is tailing her and waiting for her to leave. 2. That guy is a complete and random stranger, and she's being very paranoid. 3. That person, they are somehow connected to the Red Room, and they are waiting to make a move. And conclusion number 4. The person, they have a strange quirk, and it might cause body issues, meaning that they might not be comfortable with it. Now, Izuki does actually watch the waiter go over to the man. The waiter doesn't make any sort of expression change, and she would have actually had either a face of disgust or somewhat, well, ew, whenever she did see the guy's face. Along with that, he actually did bring up his hands, revealing that they do look perfectly human. So he does not have a mutation type quirk. Option number 4 is immediately thrown out of the situation. Now, the place, other than that, does seem to be relatively empty. Now, Izuki, she actually does eat her breakfast and finish her cappuccino. Before she actually does ask for the check. As she does go to leave, she pays for her food, along with leaving a generous tip. Now, she then does actually get up and go to take a coffee on the go, getting a scalding hot black coffee. No creamer, no sugar. As she does actually look at her wrist and pretend to look at a watch, saying that she's late and running out of the business. Now, after that does happen, Izuki does decide to walk down the street, away from her vehicle. As she does do that, the person, they actually do come out of the store. Izuki pretending to wait at the bus stop, nearby, or halfway down the block. Her actually checking the bus schedule. The bus doesn't arrive for 10 minutes. So, this is going to be very bad. Okay. Now, the person is beginning to walk Izuki's way. As they eventually do stand next to her. And just wait by her for the bus. Izuki actually looking towards him. The person's head shifting and turning as she does just look straight ahead. Now, Izuki does try and ask a question. So, um, who are you? The person not responding. Well, I'm here on a trip with my dad. It's actually quite interesting. You know, I've never been to Japan before. I've always been interested in the language and the certain areas around here, but it's strange. The person's still not responding. Now, Izuki does try and play up this whole facade, trying to play up being a foreigner. Technically, she is, since she was born and raised in Russia. However, the person is still not talking. Izuki actually going to leave, as the person does actually grab her by her arm. Her looking around. The street is clear, and there's not a car in sight. As she actually does go to kick the person directly in the leg. And she actually does pull the top off of this coffee and splash it directly into the person's face, before socking them across the hoodie and knocking them to the ground. Now, the person, as soon as they are actually trying to, well, wipe the coffee off their face, they do bring something up to their face. Izuki actually going to rip off the hoodie. As soon as she does, she's quite confused, seeing a skull mask, along with what looks to be black hair. Now, the person actually does go on stating that she is quite tricky, in a strange and modulated voice. And she does go on the offensive, going to attack the man. Now, she does actually get in a few good hits, using karate and kung fu against him, along with just straight up using boxing. Now, after she does knock around and throw the man around a little bit, she actually does throw him into the alleyway, continuing to fight him as he just keeps trying to throw punches at her. Now, this is whenever Izuki, she actually does notice something. As the man, he actually does throw out a hand, and catches Izuki's fist, before completely turning on her. Now, he actually does begin to use these very same moves Izuki was just using against her. Now, he's using judo, karate, and boxing. And he seems to be mimicking everything she's done. Her going on the defensive, and watching as the man, whenever she does try and fight him now, he simply just begins to try and dodge and defend the same way she is. Confused, before asking if he's copying her style. The man saying maybe he is. Now, she does actually ask if the guy can actually try out, well, lucha libre. I forgot I had that written down. Now, I forgot exactly what this martial art is, or this discipline is, but she uses it against him. Him using it back against her. Them switching in between kickboxing, karate, ninjutsu, aikido, kavate, and martial arts. Now, this is a very long fight. The two are throwing each other around the alleyway, along with actually damaging the fence, well, the fence in the alleyway and the building to the right, along with actually Izuki being smashed into the dumpster, and the man actually attacking her arm in her weak spot, as he does knock her onto the ground this time. Izuki actually getting back up, as she actually does do one thing. She brings her hand up and coughs into her hand, and trying to keep it hidden, she spits in it. The man actually walking over and kicking her directly in her ribs, knocking the wind out of her, before picking her up and throwing her against the wall, telling her that she doesn't understand anything about what's going on, does she? Now, as soon as he did that, she actually did reach her hand out and try and grab him by his throat. As soon as she did that, the guy, she actually did feel his grip begin to weaken. However, he did stay strong. However, his hands did get somewhat more shaky. And he told her that that won't work. She doesn't know anything about Operation Wolf Spider. What is that? I've heard it mentioned. It's just like the Red Room, the Black Widow project. Oh my. So it does exist. We all believe that they were just rumors. Mother Russia has some daughters. Interesting. So you are with the KGB? Not anymore. I escaped that place. In fact, it's destroyed. My facility. I burned it to the ground. And I killed that bitch in charge. Oh my, feisty. Well, do know that even though you destroyed one little room, your project is still in the works. What do you intend to do? I want to destroy it all. I'm sorry, did you just say you want to destroy it all? Yes. That's hilarious. So how are you gonna do that? Wait, by myself. Find more widows. They all know what's happening. They've broken the veil before. Broken the veil. Black Widow. Widow. Oh, that does make sense. Well, the guy says, letting go of her throat as she has actually dropped to the ground trying to catch her breath. And she actually does feel her hand get coated in blood. Looking down and realizing that she just opened her injury. Before the guy just looks down, seeing her. Telling her that he's not going to kill her. He did want to know her intentions, since she is on his turf. Now, she does actually go asking about the guy she met the other day. What are you talking about? I'm talking about the guy with the metal arm. Metal arm? He's here? When did you last meet him? Yesterday. No. She tells him exactly 6.5 hours ago. She met him and actually did have quite a lot of fun talking with him. He caused the injury that he just reopened. Her going to stand back on her feet. Now, she does go to reach in her jacket for her gun. The guy telling her that that's not such a smart idea. If she goes for it, he can clear the distance before she can even pull the trigger. Let alone draw the weapon. So just know, Widow, you are in my home. This place is what I call home. And if your guys start poking around here, me and you are going to have a lot more problems. Along with the fact that he's apparently back, that means that I have my own business to take care of. Now, he actually does go to toss something, reaching into his pocket as Izuki actually does bring her hands back up to fight. As he just grabs a small coin, or it looks to be a coin, and tosses it directly in front of Izuki's face. As soon as it flashes, or seemingly cause a complete whiteout of her vision, she actually does go to bring her hands up to her eyes, before looking back around, finding that the man is gone. And there is at least one thing left. What seems to be a note. And that little piece on the ground. Now, she actually does pick it back up. And look at it. I haven't seen this before. Along with actually going to read the notes. Now, while she is reading the notes, we do cut over to this man, who, as soon as the light flashed, he used his grappling hook to get on top of the building, and take off into a sprint. Now, as soon as he did get roughly 5 buildings away, he drops onto the ground and just completely lets himself sit back against the wall, his breathing heavy and erratic, taking off the mask along with the nano mesh covering his head. Simply just thinking, damn, that girl's quirk power, it's got some kick. Hopefully she didn't notice that it actually did work. Otherwise I might be screwed. Now, back over with Izuki. The note simply just says one name. What this mysterious man does call himself. Taskmaster. Now, with all of that being said, I do hope you guys enjoyed. And have an amazing night. I'll catch you guys in the next part.